Hey everybody, how are we doing tonight? I am back with James. He's got his channel started up today, the Spirit Box. James, how you doing tonight?
Hey, sir, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, I got a little bit of reverb on you now.
Yeah.
You have the YouTube open?
Oh, yes, I do. There we go. I had to fall.
That should be better.
Yeah.
Tiffany was saying hi. But yeah,
Hello, Tiffany.
we're getting this. You've been telling me you've got some guests lined up, and hopefully we can get you started up here pretty soon. I'm going to share your page for everybody to check out. Go leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, check out his channel. We're going to start getting. We'll probably share this video on there after today, but I'll share the ticker right now on the bottom of the screen in case anybody wants to see it. And then what we'll do is we'll go and do a screen share at some point, and I'll pull up your channel and let people see it just so they know they're at the right place.
Yeah.
But so tell everybody what kind of you're planning on doing with your channel in general.
As the name says, the Spirit Box, so things that communicate with spirits or interaction with spirits or ghosts, entities, things of the paranormal. So if you've got a paranormal story, I want to hear about it. I love all things paranormal, spirits, ghosts, entities, even Bigfoot, the Michigan Dog Man, Chupacabra, if you've encountered that, a variety of things, UFOs. I mean, if you've got a crazy UFO experience, love to hear about it.
And I've got some guests that I wouldn't mind sending your way too, that I've done some interviews on my channel that have extraterrestrial experiences, spiritual experiences, mixture of things. And I think some of it might have some crossover on your channel as well. And that's why we've talked about it. What we should do is I'm willing to co-host for you and help you out and do help you with the StreamYard and get things started while you're getting the channel up and going. If you need any help with the navigating the platform, making sure all the interviews go right, just making sure things run smoothly and your audience gets to see what they're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, West Haven, and thank you for sharing, Tiffany and West Haven. You guys are great. Thank you for keeping the information pushing out there. We appreciate it.
You guys are the real MVPs.
Yeah, exactly. It's the community that you build on your channel that I think makes all the difference. I mean, without my community, I would be bored to come on here. I mean, they're the ones that keep the chat going, they keep the questions going, and it's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you again, Tiffany. I was just telling the channel, the Spirit Box, a little bit about Divine Tiffany and how she does tarot cards, and that's how I actually got connected with Tiffany. Is I kind of started a paranormal / the word I don't like to use, like conspiracy type podcast and interviews, where eventually it started evolving into a lot more. And I tried not to limit my channel as much, but I still really do like the extraterrestrial experiences, the paranormal experiences. They're always been one of my favorites. And West Haven, who's hanging out and sharing our work as well, she works with a lot of people in the paranormal field as well. She has Vale. Gosh, I'm gonna actually have West Haven share some of the people, but she has some regular channels that she follows that do paranormal activity. Vale is one of the behind the veil is one I've talked to, and she is super nice and does probably a stream once or twice a week, where they've done everything from going to haunted places to spirit boxes to a little bit of everything, and I really like a lot of their work as well. But yeah, Elaine's got a few people in that field that she likes to follow. Let's see. Oh yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. But so what do you think out of your guests? Who do you think is up on your list for who you're going to get to first? Starting to work down the candidate list yet?
Yeah, I definitely have a few people that have already reached out to me. So anybody that's already reached out to me goes on the list first. I have a huge comment section from one post I put out on a group on Facebook uh, that has received lots of feedback. I don't necessarily think that all of those people are going to like get on the show just because interactions and whatnot, but the fact that they interacted with that post, and I definitely hope I can get all 45 to 60 people that have something to share on there for sure. Um, so I got more feedback than I thought I would get. And I'm excited to see that translate over into my YouTube channel and podcast. So,
So
um,
what got you interested in this field? What would you say, like, if you had to pick one story that's your like driving story, your motivation? If you had to pick one cryptozoology case, or if you had to pick one alien encounter case, is there anything that really drew you? And like, I want to hear more about all of these because of this. Like,
well,
what sparked the interest?
to be completely honest, I've always had the interest. Ever
Okay.
since I was little, I've always wanted to be a wizard and do magic and this and that. And so that helped fuel uh, the idea of working with spirits and entities and different energies and finding them and researching them and communicating and I've always wanted to be a paranormal investigator, and I've had my own experiences too. The biggest one that stands out for me is I had a spirit talk to me on my cell phone, and most people are
Explain.
like, "Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
that's wild.
explain.
I gotta hear this." So back when I was in high school, I was pretty big into witchcraft at that time. And
Like
I
Wiccan specifically, or
well,
was it just
so
witchcraft in general? Or
I called it Wicca out of lack of experience, but it wasn't the structured religion of Wicca. It was
okay,
more of the craft. So I realize now it was more witchcraft than anything, but it's the arts, you know.
did you learn intention when you were studying it when you were younger? Because that was the first thing I learned when I looked at like witchcraft and stuff like that when I was younger. Was the rule of three is what
Yeah,
always presented itself in my studies about witchcraft spells, stuff
yeah.
like that. Any kind
There's
of
the rule of three. There's the tenfold law. There's several different.
well,
It's
the rule of
definitely
three and the threefold is the one I know the most of. I haven't really heard about a tenfold one, but the rule of three is like, yeah, if you're putting good upon somebody, good can come back at you times three, and the same with ill intentions.
yeah.
If you're trying to cast something bad on somebody or ill wish somebody, the same thing
Mhm.
can reflect back on you. And it took me, God, a long time when I was younger to get through my spiritual dabblings is what I
Yeah,
would call them. Whether it was messing with a Ouija board inappropriately, or yeah, looking into spells for inappropriate reasons. Like for me, that was my biggest deterrent. Is I started conjuring and bringing things to the surface that weren't necessarily positive.
hmm,
And a lot of people that I did it with, it actually followed them around for a period of time. Um, yeah, one of my friends, I mean, we ended up finding out that he killed somebody because of our dabblings. Like, and we knew actually beforehand that he had death in his future because of the people that we were talking to, and it was
yeah,
just got ourselves into some really deep, dark places, and it was all because there's a mindset that you have when you pick up like things like a Ouija board
yeah.
or like these tarot cards. Like you think of them as like cards and a board, and it's a game.
They're
Like,
gateways.
and yeah, and instead there's actual rules to these things, and there's a proper procedure that is not a game. And
Yeah.
a lot of people sometimes will look past that and
Mhm.
find themselves in some deep trouble.
Number one rule: do not burn your Ouija board.
That's a word. That's a rule.
Yeah, it's
Number one rule for me: make your own damn Ouija board and don't buy it from the store.
that's that's tied for sure. They're
Yeah.
two number one rules.
I'm gonna say, if you're buying your Ouija board from a store, you're already traveling down a dangerous path.
Yeah.
I
Make your
I
own
always tell people
poster board.
when I first got into mine, I wanted a dry erase board on the back of it because I could actually list names on the back of people I
Yeah.
wanted or didn't want, and it helped me respect the power of a name and what it can mean.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a lot when you're talking about spirits and actually identifying who you're talking to.
Yeah, indeed. It's a big deal, and it helps to have an idea of who you're already trying to communicate with or what you're already trying to communicate with.
I don't, and I kind of have mixed feelings about that. I don't feel like you have to go to it with intention. Just you have to have the right safety measures up if you're going to do that.
Well, and plenty of people with experience just reach out for whatever may be around. That's not uncommon, but the most people that do not understand what they're dealing with, that's the problem. They just go, "Hey, we're gonna do this," and they go, "What's around me?" And and then something, are you good or bad?
It's the unknowing vulnerability that you're presenting yourself in. Like, it's the same thing with, like, for me, the idea of possession or anything like that. If you're not realizing how vulnerable you are, you could actually be open for possession and not know it because you're so willing to just hear something and to be ready to get a sign of something that you might actually open yourself up to a lot more than you wanted. Oh, it's all good, Tiffany. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate it. Yeah.
But no, I definitely agree. But so I was very avid practitioner of the craft at that time. And I had moved away from DeKalb to Missouri. And I had a friend, she called me in distress about having an experience like literally in that moment. She or her friend had an out-of-body experience while they were driving, and then things got really weird and different things started happening like while they were driving and stuff, and it really freaked them out, So I was kind of trying to walk them through it, and it was very interesting. I was walking them through it, and then, like, how there's ambient noise even now in the podcast and stuff. Okay. Well, on the phone, and this was totally at night. Everything went way calm. All the ambient noise cut out. Bam, there was nothing. Now, not like a dropped phone call or like a lag in Wi-Fi. It wasn't like a buffering, no noise. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It was totally different.
Like, so silent that you go, "Hello, are you there?"
Yeah. So silent that you're like, "Wait, what just happened?" And then I just heard this voice speak Latin in my ear. Okay, now it did it twice. The first time was only about 10 seconds long, and it was a middle-aged voice, a male voice, like not anybody that was around. Okay. Then all of a sudden it was done. Everything came right back in, and I was like, "Did you guys hear that?" And they were like, what? And I was like, some middle-aged man was just talking or whatever. And they were like, it was a bunch of girls. Okay. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that was not happy that I'm helping you guys." And I tried to proceed to tell them kind of ways to protect themselves, I guess. And then it did it again. It cut everything out. And this time it was 30 seconds long, a solid 30 seconds. I wish I could have recorded it. It was the craziest thing I've ever had happen to me.
What did you say the second time around?
It was all in Latin. Yeah, no, it was all in Latin. I don't really know exactly what it was saying.
Could you make out any of the sounds if you heard them again? Were they that embedded when you heard it? Like, if you heard this exact same phrase repeated to you, would you be like, "Oh, that was it"?
Maybe. It's been so long ago, and I didn't even really. I hadn't learned any bit of Latin or anything at that time, because you don't need Latin for witchcraft. That's more of the occult. But I never put any of it to memory. I just remember knowing that it sounded very Latin, and that it was a middle-aged man. I never heard it again. Nothing's ever bothered me. But it did it twice in the same phone call. And I haven't told a whole lot of people because it's crazy, but ghosts use cell phones, people.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Or at least they can cross over that field.
Yeah.
I feel like they can cause an interference quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, and I have these theories about what we encounter when we encounter these energies or these spirits, because I do think it's possible for I don't know how I would describe it, like a vortex of energy. I feel like could be left in the past if a traumatic event happened there, and you were to dial in at the right frequency. Like when I say dial in at the right frequency, it could be a lot of different things. It could be a state of awareness. It could be that point between awake and asleep. That almost
usually it's the theta gamma sync.
Yes. Oh wow, Tiffany, you're more than welcome to tell us about it if you don't mind.
I was gonna say, share it on my podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking to have Tiffany come on. I've been on her show a couple times. She came on the other day for the first time, but she's always in the chat and always such a good supporter. And we're gonna try to have her on soon and do a one-on-one podcast with her. And I bet she would be interested. She's such a great community builder. When I met most of the people that I talk to in my regular are actually through Tiffany, besides the people I met through like my time travel stuff and a couple other pages that I follow that are more down the sci-fi side.
Sure.
Oh, West Haven, you did too? West Haven, I know you popped out for a second, but if you get a chance, share some of the pages of like Vale and some of the other paranormal researchers that you are in contact with, because you have quite a few that follow your group as well. And thank you to the 6 people that are watching right now. We appreciate it. Looks like we got 6, at least on my end. I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, it shows 6 here too.
Oh, April, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, if you want to give us a sneak peek about it tonight, you're more than welcome to. Make us want to dive into it more. Hello, April. How are ya? Hope you're doing well tonight. Holding things down in Boston. But yeah, Elaine, we'd like to hear about your stories as well. If you have, I didn't know you had a story. I've talked to Elaine a few times and never heard that.
Your audio's coming through weird.
My audio's coming through? Oh, there, I got now it's good. My pop's in front of it. Sorry.
There you go. Yep.
It's probably foaming right in front of it. Had the bubbles coming through.
Yeah, it sounded bubbly for a second.
That's just my personality. But so there's got to be some standout stories that you like. All right, if I made you put your thumb down on one right now, favorite cryptozoology story. What's the creature? If you could pick any creature to see today, you can walk up and see it. What would it be?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I've never really thought about that one. I haven't done a whole lot of research into cryptozoology.
Oh but, man, you got, and if I start listing them, you'll know them all.
Sure,
you got the moth, right. You got the Mothman, you got the Chupacabra, you got Bigfoot, you got Yeti, you got Sasquatch, you got Loch Ness Monster, you got there's quite a those are just the heavy hitters.
You know, honestly, Slenderman.
Slenderman's always a good one. I would put Slenderman more on the lines of creepypasta, but he is a creepypasta creation. That was actually his original source, but I do think he dabbles along other cryptozoology stories, in the sense that I do think there are tall, slender beings that have been described, And I actually think that people talk about the tall grays a lot. Like the tall grays are a great example of what I would consider Slender Man.
Okay,
Not a lot
sure.
of facial representation, and then at the same time, they're tall, narrow, skinny. Tiffany said, "I kind of want to meet a Bigfoot."
A Bigfoot
So
would be cool. Honestly, after reading briefly about the Michigan Dog Man, like that would be really cool to spot.
he
Um,
sounds a little dangerous. I'm not gonna
he
lie.
is. He is. It's basically a werewolf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially, yes.
It screams though. It doesn't growl, and it
Oh,
doesn't
I
have
thought
to
it
be a
did like
full
a
name.
shriek. I've heard like
Yeah,
shrieking,
it's like a
screaming,
shriek or a
high pitch.
scream.
Yeah. But when it comes to Bigfoot, I was talking to I've talked to Andrew Basiago a few times on Aaron Moriarty's show, and then I also used to talk to Andrew on his Facebook when he used to follow it all the time, and he's told me about his Bigfoot encounters where he was playing ball one time and his ball went too far, and a Bigfoot picked it, like a younger Bigfoot picked it up and like tossed it back to him, and like had this conversation with a Bigfoot, and I'm like, it's interesting to hear people tell stories about when they encountered it and it was never traumatic. Wait, what
Yeah.
is this? I said I had not as possession, but I seen a ghost in bad dreams. Oh, okay.
Sorry, my friend's. It says she's not able to comment. She's watching the live
That means
stream, but
she doesn't have an account on YouTube.
oh,
If you don't have an account on YouTube, you can't comment, but you can
can't
view.
comment.
The other thing we could do is if she would like to join, I can let her into the StreamYard with us. If she would like to, we can, and she can leave her camera off and stuff and talk to us and join in.
She said she signed in.
But that's usually what it's based off of, is if you have that.
Yeah.
Oh,
she subscribed to your channel too. Look, this is what it. Oh, it's not showing you.
I can't see it now. The glare.
Yeah, there's a glare. Hold on. Let me.
Hold on one second.
Did everything get muted? Oh, he just did his camera. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Now. Let's see here. All right. Hold on just a second, people. There's somebody that's trying to comment and be able to view, and they're struggling at the moment. We're trying to figure it out.
about that. Little bad dream. But can everybody hear me? Oh, all good now though.
She
Hello,
said
people
she
of the
would be
chat.
more
Oh,
than willing.
I got you. I don't have no sound from you, Senor.
You can hear me?
No, I cannot hear you. I can see your lips moving.
Am I paused?
Didn't know if you had yourself muted or not.
I'm not muted.
No. If you have to, try to reconnect. Or maybe hold on. Don't do that yet. Let me see if I can try something.
How about now?
Give me a check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing? My mic is still working.
But try reconnecting. For some reason, it's not giving me any audio. Oh, you can hear her. I mean, you can hear them. Let me see.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you. Sorry about that.
You can hear me?
I must have had your volume turned off. I didn't know I turned on the volume on it. But yeah, no,
I was gonna
good
say
now.
I can hear you.
Because I had everything muted earlier.
Oh.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, no, daughter just had a bad dream and had to go take care of that. She's trying to get some rest. She just woke up in kind of a stir. But
she said, so she showed me a screenshot. When I go to the video, I have a thing where I can click and it says live chat and it goes into the chat. Hers doesn't have that. So I
maybe try, or maybe have her reconnect to the stream. I don't know. It's weird.
I had her, I think she's in a browser though. So that might be, because I always use the app for everything. She can hear us though. She heard.
Well, I mean, and I used YouTube in the browser. It should work pretty well in the browser. And the other thing I could do, if she just wanted to get on here and comment, I could always share the StreamYard link with her, and she could get on here and actually talk to us too as well.
Yeah, she said she'd be interested in that.
What's that?
She said she'd be interested in that.
Oh, okay. And is this a future guest you're thinking about having, or?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be on my podcast.
Okay, I will share it to you right now in the private, and then you can share that link with her, and she can join us. Can you give me a little name for reference?
Yeah, let me ask her what she wants to be named as.
Just so I don't assume. But man, there's got to be some stories out there. So maybe it's not cryptozoology. Tell me. Maybe Roswell was your favorite, or there was a favorite haunting case that you had, or there's got to be one thing you're passionate about when it comes to those things. It's not just vague all over it. There's got to be, oh man, I love this story. At least one of them out there.
Well, so there's so many. Let's see, the Amityville Horror.
A few that you like. You don't have to pick
the
one.
Amityville Horror. The fact that was real.
Yeah, the original story is good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see, the Conjuring and Annabelle movies. Those are all based on real demonologies.
Which is why I wouldn't mind getting you connected with one of my other guests, Zenzi. And Zenzi, she has the original Annabelle doll with her.
That's what you were saying.
Yes, and she actually talked to the guy that runs the museum and was able to obtain the original doll because it started talking to her through the TV. It's a long story, but yeah, I'm hoping to get her on again soon. And I have a friend Mike who's had a few extraterrestrial experiences, and he also runs an extraterrestrial page.
Really?
Yes, he runs a experiencers page out of hello there. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Yeah, I have this thing about dolls as well. There's something about a faceless doll that absolutely creeps me out. It's always the pale faced like porcelain dolls that do it to me the most. But yeah, I don't know.
Livy is my friend that I'm
Okay.
sending a link to. She wants to be referred to as Tink, though.
Tink? All right,
Tink.
Tink it is. Olivia, we'd love to have you on, and if you want to join in with us, you can talk about any of your experiences you're comfortable talking about, and yeah, we're just sitting on and listening.
Just click that link I sent you.
Yeah, and the other thing you'll see when you're joining that chat link is you can turn your camera off. You don't have to be on the camera if you don't want to. If you just want to listen, you can also mute your microphone, and we can just leave you on here listening too as well. Since you're having trouble on the YouTube, so the YouTube, what am I?
So when she clicked the link that I sent her for the stream through Messenger, it opened it up in her browser instead of the app. That was the issue.
Okay.
Like the actual browser.
The app is what was doing it.
Yeah. So yeah. She's commenting now. I don't like porcelain dolls. Like those creep me out.
So Tiffany said, "Oh, does she like Tinkerbell? I love Tinkerbell."
I'm not sure exactly, but she's.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
we will
ask her when she
arrives.
Yeah,
save that.
She's from the UK, so
Tink is joining in right now. So is it inappropriate if I do an English accent the whole time? I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that. Hey, Tink, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey guys, you okay?
How's it going?
How are you doing tonight?
It's good. I'm all the way in the UK, so hey.
Yeah, no, I have a few shows that I partner with out in the UK, and I go on their shows every once in a while. I don't know if you ever heard of like Jimmy Rizzo or a couple other people.
Rizzo rings a bell, not Jimmy, but Rizzo does.
Yeah, Jimmy Rizzo. I've been on his a few times, and yeah, there's a few in the UK that I try to touch base with every once in a while. I got people doing shows all over. It's hard to coordinate time sometimes.
I stumbled across him literally just on a Facebook page, just by accident, and I've only just started believing in ghosts and whatnot, supernatural, I suppose, for the last year.
Okay.
So I had quite a very raw reading actually, which opened my eyes a lot from a loved one that had passed, and now I think it's kind of haunting me a little bit at the moment. Oh
yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if I'd call it like fun is I guess it's by the interpreter, but it's definitely interesting and very intriguing, and I want to know more about it the more I dig into it. But sometimes I've had people tell me some experiences that definitely aren't always fun. Everybody in the chat saying hi. It's nice to see you, Tink.
Can you actually see me?
No. Just to hear you up here. No, your camera's off.
I look like Morticia right now, so thank God for that.
That's all right. The Addams Family is awesome.
Oh, I know. Well, anyway.
That's my theme song.
What's your theme song?
The Addams Family.
The Addams Family, Morticia. I go to bed looking like Morticia, and I wake up looking like Uncle Fester.
Me too. She's funny.
You didn't tell me she's got jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't joking.
That's funny.
So, Tink, what are some of the experiences that you have? I know you've been diving into it a little bit more, but
well, I guess I never believed in that sort of. I'll be honest. Excuse my language, but I didn't believe in that shit. And I walked into a pub one day, and my friend said, "Oh, you see that guy sat at the bar?" He goes, "He's a bit of a psychic. He's a stranger." And I went up to him and I said, "Go on then, give us a reading." He went, "Oh, it's a bit too busy. It's a Friday night." And I walked away thinking, "Oh, that's a load of bullshit." And he chased me through the bar, this 60-year-old man, and he went, "I can't let you go." He says, "This man needs to talk to you." He went, he won't let me let you go. He said, "Can we find a quiet spot? I have to talk to you." And he sat me down, and I thought, you know, when you give off body language, they pick up on tics, all that sort of shit. So I stood there, dead still, and he said stuff to me that no one knows in the world. I mean, he said there's a woman with a scar on her knee. He stood with a black dog that's got a racist name. My granddad was racist, and he called his dog Nick. He stood with a black dog. He goes, I don't want to say the name. And he goes, and he stood with a young lad. He goes, you need to tell this woman with a scar that he's safe. He's okay. He's with me. And it was, I knew who he was talking about. My mum's got a scar on her knee, and it was her best friend that committed suicide. And I went, no, I can't tell my mum. I said, because I've not spoke to her in 5 years. He went, you will. And lo and behold, I was talking to her within 2 months.
Wow.
He told me a lot. There's a lot of other deep stuff, like, yes, stuff that, well, I don't want to say in public, but I think I told you a little bit about it earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
Other stuff that he did. And he said, you're in a bit of an abusive relationship at the moment. And I said, how the hell do you know that? He goes, it's going to get worse. He goes, but by New Year's Eve, this was October, he said, by New Year's Eve, he said, you're going to be happy. And lo and behold, it got worse. And by New Year's Eve, I was talking to my mum again, and we were broken up. And I was really happy, the happiest I've been in 5 years. So it was that's when I opened my eyes, and I was bawling my eyes out by the end of it. There was a lot of other stuff. But and now he's haunting me. He's been following me around lately. He's not happy with what my lifestyle at the moment, and he's smashing some things up in my house at the moment when I'm doing something naughty.
Do you have any connection with this entity or this spirit?
I think it's him. I definitely think it's him. I think
Her granddad.
Most definitely. My friend's a bit of a psychic, and she said he was trying to come through the other day, and she turned him down. She's a bit scared of her abilities, and she said no to him. And my granddad, I remember, and he didn't like being told no. And my lifestyle at the moment isn't fantastic, and I think because he couldn't get through to her, he's decided he's just following me around. And whenever I do what he doesn't agree with, he's smashing things in my house, turning the TV on and off, rushing through me. But I'm not scared.
Would you say your granddad has
It's
good
quite
intention?
comforting feeling.
Like he is trying to guide you the right way at least?
I think I tried communicating with him. He gave me a little bit of a sign. I think he's trying to tell me, if you carry on like this, you're going to hit a situation and you're not going to be able to control it or handle it if you're doing what you're doing. So I think he's trying to warn me now. Because I asked him, I said, is this a warning, or are you just being an arsehole, to be honest? And I said, make the phone flash if you're warning me. I said, and make the paper bag move if you're being an arsehole. And it took an hour, and then my phone, I told you my phone was plugged in and plugged back out again. You know when it beeps when you put your charger in?
Yeah.
It was on the other side of the room, and it went beep, and it went charging, and it'd been charging all night, so it went in and out. Yeah. So I think it's a warning. He's telling me to stop what the fuck I'm doing. Excuse my language, guys. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
We swear.
Here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And what I was going to ask, have you ever tried, man? And I don't like suggesting these things for people. It's only kind of if they have experience with them. Oh yeah, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang. Bang. Not a sponsor, but we'd be happy to take free samples. But no, what I was gonna say was, have you ever tried anything like Roki or Ouija boards or anything like that?
No,
I
I'm scared.
actually was able to.
No, I'm petrified. I mean, my abilities have only come because I just started microdosing. My dad put me on a course of microdosing on mushrooms, so I've been microdosing lately, and I think it's opened me up to these abilities. So I think they're just starting to come through. But I've always been petrified of things like Ouija boards and whatnot.
I
have had a call in tarot cards recently.
I would suggest Reiki over a Ouija board, especially. It's good that you have that fear of it. It's actually a respect for it that not a lot of people have. They just want to use it as, a portal to talk to people that are.
If I could guarantee safety, I would be open to anything if I could guarantee safety. But I know that there are a lot of religious things that can come through.
It's hard to guarantee safety on any of these things. We actually have somebody in the chat that does tarot readings and pulls tarot cards.
Just had a call in for tarot cards. Since I've stopped microdosing, I've got this drawer I'm being drawn to cards. I feel like I need to go and buy a pack of tarot cards. That's something very
I don't
new.
know if you can see the comments on the bottom of the
I
screen.
can't see the comments at the moment. Hang on.
On the bottom of the screen, I can share them. I don't know if they're coming up on your screen that you can see.
Oh, they're coming up now, but only the recent ones.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hold
So
on.
the Divine Tiffany, she has a page on YouTube, quite a few followers, and she does tarot card readings. She did one tonight, and I was on there. But she agrees. Ouija boards are opening portals, and it can be dangerous.
Yeah, my mum was haunted. She's a white witch, and my mum was haunted for years after a Ouija board. I kind of guess why I'm scared of him.
Oh yeah, no, I've been very scared of them. I at one point actually talked to I was sitting with my best friend, myself, and my best friend's girlfriend at the time, and we ended up talking to the Grim Reaper. I'm 100% convinced it was the Grim Reaper at this point in my life. Now that I look back at it, we ended up talking to this person named Grim. He wanted to talk to my best friend Josh. He wanted to warn him about death. Like, we asked a bunch of questions to get to that point. But once we eventually got to that point, we're like, blah, blah, blah. A guy named Grim wants to talk about death. And we just kind of flipped over the board and walked away. A month later, my best friend killed somebody on Christmas Eve in a car accident.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And it really messed me up. I didn't think about it at the time. My best friend's actually the one who called me and said, hey, I was actually warned about this. And that's when I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even make that connection right away. And then I found myself pondering, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but hindsight's the most painful thing, but the most enlightening thing, isn't it? Hindsight.
It's enlightening, and then it's also nerve-wracking, because I came to the point where I was like, I don't know if I could have ever asked enough questions to ever been able to change the outcome of the events. Like, we could have lived scared for the rest of our lives to avoid anything, but that also could have triggered the same events that we were trying to avoid in the first place.
But without being crude, you don't have crystal balls, babe, do you? I mean, yes, I mean, looking back, hindsight, you can interpret it now, but at the time, you couldn't have understood what you were being told. Does that make sense? Exactly. You've not got crystal balls, you know what I mean? So
yeah, no.
I can imagine you took a lot of blame. I guess you've carried a lot of blame from that, haven't you?
Well, I don't carry blame from it. Just the curiosity if we could have changed events in any way.
Or did that happen because you're being warned?
Yeah.
Or it was a mental
right?
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what I'm getting at.
For a reason.
I also think I'm awakening things in people's houses. I've been to a few people's houses, and when I've left, they're experiencing things. So I left. I'm very good friends with an ex that I was with years and years and years ago. He's just moved to my area, so I went to his house this weekend with his children and mine. And when I left, he said, "What the hell have you done to my house?" He goes, "I'm seeing a child everywhere. This child has been very playful with him." I think I sent you screenshots, didn't I? He thought it was my ghost because I told him this ghost is following me. He goes, "You've left it here." And I went, no. I mean, you've got a child at yours, and I'm awakening like ghosts in people's houses at the moment. I don't think I'm bringing ghosts to their house, but I think I'm every time I go into somewhere, I'm leaving them with something that's in their house. Does that make sense? Or I'm awakening something?
I think both are possible, Tink. I have another person that I interview, and she tends to leave relationships with more than she brought into them with just herself. And she didn't notice it right away. And she was like, I might, like, having these people be interested in the same things as me, it's hard to know that your significant other has the same intentions as you when, like, looking into these things. And it's almost hard to bring a loved one into without knowing them, inside and out, and knowing that they have the same intentions and wills going into these practices.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I've heard that people that are sensitive, they struggle to see their loved ones, but they can see everyone else or have messages. But their loved ones, it's very hard to get through to them. I was asking you advice earlier how to contact my granddad because he seems to come through to everyone else but me.
Yeah.
Without Man,
I don't know. I suppose this time last year, I wouldn't have believed any of this shit, if I'm honest. I thought it was, I wanted to believe it, but now it's happened. It just opens up another bloody, you just see the world differently.
It confirms everything.
Without being too personal,
it gives you hope as well. It gives you hope, though, I guess, that when you die, it's not the end.
Yeah.
But then it always brings me back to that question: Is it not the end because of unfinished business? Is it not?
I believe in old souls. I think we come back quite a few times. I do. I do think we come back quite a few times. I've met some old souls in my life that are 6 years old and they act like a bloody granddad. And then I've had, you meet, like they've got the world on their shoulders, like they've been here many times. I've met somebody that could read your past lives before, and he read my sister when she was newborn, and he said, "Oh, is her left hand always clenched?" And he's never met her before. And my mum went, "Yeah, what? How do you know that?" And he goes, she was a blacksmith's daughter in her past. She was your grandma and a blacksmith's daughter, and she burnt her hand in her past, but it's resonated with her, and she's carried it on all her life, each life she's took. And that was bloody weird. He's never met my sister before.
That's awesome.
But that was also quite cool. But you do meet old souls. I mean, I bet everyone's met an old soul. You go, bloody hell, you're like a granddad at your age. How the hell do you, can you talk like this? You've been here before.
Tiffany shared something in the chat. It said, "It even works on paper. I lost a friend in the same grade. It said she would. I used to see her spirit and had dreams of her after until one beautiful dream, and she thanked me." I'm assuming it stopped after that. And she said, "I used to see my past family members all my childhood." Well, and that was something interesting that I learned about the Ouija board is I remember talking to a 6-year-old, specifically a 6-year-old girl, 6-year-old blonde-headed girl that passed away, just to give you a little bit of reference, James, in Sycamore. And I ended up talking to her, and I found out that her whole family was murdered by their father. And what made the story so real to me is I was noticing that the 6-year-old, when I talked to her compared to the mother or the father or anybody else in this family, is the 6-year-old spelled words wrong. It was interesting that her spirit had that same 6-year-old mentality when it came to spelling things, but had the comprehension of knowing what she was trying to say. Like, I knew what she was trying to say by the words that she was spelling out, but there was misspellings, and I thought it was interesting. I didn't know if they took that memory with them, or
certain qualities transition over, and then when you transition over, there's just a certain level of knowing of things, that it changes things, because now you're not limited by time. So well, and time, I feel like time is access their ethereal body.
If time is limited to the people on this earth, and I had this discussion when we were talking about past lives and reincarnation and stuff on my podcast the other day. We got to the question, like, okay, so say you live your life with your significant other, and you guys are both trying to reach a plane of higher existence, whatever you happen to believe in. Any religion all usually covers that. Eventually, you'll move up and go to a higher point of existence. My question for my guest that I was talking to was, if your wife dies before you and you die many years later, do you think that they noticed the gap in time? And their answer was immediate. It was no, there wouldn't be a gap in time. It would just be instant, because time is only relevant to this earth. And I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I could see how time would only be one thing. Are you back with us, Tink?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, bloody UK internet's useless. But can I just add to that? I just heard the end of that. But is time real? I mean, we came up with time, didn't we? We made time a schedule.
Well, let me catch you up on the rest of it. So I was doing a little podcast with somebody the other day, and we were talking about past lives, reincarnation, and then just like higher planes of existence. And I presented this question to everybody in my chat. It was like, say you're with your significant other, and your wife passes away several years before you do. the question was, do you think there will be any, notice in that time that it takes that the other person to pass away? And then everybody's answer was no, it would be instant because time is just a construct of our planet. So
Yes,
anybody
construct
outside
of
of that
human
dimension
beings.
could just
It's not our planet. But that guy that gave a reading to my sister when she was newborn, he said that when you are reincarnated and you come back again, your grandma will be your mum, your grandma, your granddad could be your fella in the next life. The ones that are closest to you, that take your heart, they follow you in each lifetime, but they're not who they were in the previous one. Have you ever met somebody where you're like, bloody hell, I've known you all my life?
oh my gosh, what's the movie?
It's because you've known
Atlas?
them before, but they might have been your grandma, they might have been your granddad. And he explained it to me, and he said, have you ever met somebody? He goes, he said that my sister, who bloody hates my mum, she was her grandma in a previous life. He said, the ones that hold your heart, yeah, you've been with them before, and you carry them with each lifetime.
Wow.
Apparently.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Have you ever seen the movie? I think it's Atlas, Tink.
I love that film. Yes.
Okay, so and is that the
been
one
messed
with
up, isn't it? It's
Tom
quite
Hanks
sketchy as
and
well.
man, and they keep repeating and seeing each other and coming across the same relationships in different timelines.
What? I'll have to check that out.
It's a very good one.
It's quite a sketchy film. I mean, they're passing meant to cross, and yes, I have seen it. It's brilliant. Is that the one that starts with a boat?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
that's the one.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
I would recommend that to most people, especially if you have
Colin
thoughts of like the afterlife, if paths eventually cross multiple times. Me and Tiffany have talked about this before. I believe a lot in past lives, and I do think
I
there's
do.
something
I
to that.
completely do. And I was talking about God earlier, and my gran doesn't believe in anything like this. She thinks it's a load of bullshit. And one of her friends sat her down in Asda Cafe once, and she said, my husband that's passed away came and visited me, and we sat on her bed, and she said it felt like it was a 6-hour conversation, but when she looked at the clock, it was only half an hour. And she asked lots of questions. She goes, why didn't you come to me sooner? Because he died 10 years before. And he goes, I've tried, but you weren't ready. And she goes, is God real? And this is an old lady telling my grandma. I mean, I wasn't there. And he said to her, God is real, but it's not what you think it is. God isn't a person. It's more of a feeling. It's a feeling. It's like a smoke. It's a feeling. God's not an entity. It's not a solid person. It's not a person that has conscious thoughts. It's just a thing.
It's an ethereal energy.
Yes, like an energy. There you go. I think when you die, I mean, come on, I think your energy can't just disappear. I mean, I know your soul can move on and whatnot, but I think your energy, even if you feed a worm, the worm that eats is your corpse, or you help a tree grow, or your energy goes back into the earth. I do believe in that as well. Your energy and your soul are different.
The same idea with everything. Energy doesn't just dilute by itself. It has to, it has to transfer off into something else.
It can either be destroyed or created.
Your soul's different. I do think your soul's a completely different thing, and I do think we come back quite a lot. Why do we keep coming back? I don't know. Is it? None of us know. But you've got children that can lead you to their bodies from a previous life.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
My favorite is the child that remembers how he died in World War II, and used to explain it to his family. And he used to get pains on his head where in his throat where he got shot, and he remembered it specifically until he got to a certain age. And then it's wild that the kids lose this memory once they get to a certain age.
It gets spread out of the children.
Society that does it. I mean, there's that little girl that led her parents to the middle of a field, and she said, "I'm here. I died here. I'm here." And when they dug, they found a skeleton. They found a skeleton in the middle of a field, and this 6-year-old girl led them to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they found a skeleton. I mean, that's mental, right?
I mean, it's only mental if you think about it there can't be anything outside of this human reality.
Kids are super aware.
You're right. I'm quite new to this, though. I'm only just opening my mind. I mean,
kids are really attached because they're
kids and animals.
Kids are really attached, and animals too, because they're so pure. You know, they haven't really done anything wrong yet. And the reason kids usually stop seeing things or hearing or tapping or being aware into that stuff is because society tells them that it's not real, it doesn't exist, they can't do that, you know.
That's why you're scared of things. They tell you that's scary, this is bad, this is good. You know, that's what you get brought up with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they condition.
It'd be interesting if you watch someone be born and just watched them grow on their own, and just without society or environments influencing them. Wouldn't that be mental to see what would happen? How in tune they would be to the natural surroundings and spiritually.
I think it'd be somewhat impossible to have nature without any form of nurture. I feel like nurture is needed in the development of a child, but I think the person that's nurturing they put too much of their own influence in.
Or if you take away rules and then boundaries that we're told that's right and wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, by government
boundaries and
you take away what we're told to do and what is right. Yeah, if you took that away, then for instance, you're completely right. You can't have nature and nurture. Is definitely
Yeah, because I feel like otherwise
it's crazy. But the more questions you ask, the more questions you have after that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a never-ending rabbit hole.
It definitely is. Well, it's
I've got a habit of over talking. Sorry, so please tell me to shut up.
Oh no, you're fine. No, I'm here to appreciate the conversation.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like if you're willing to, I told James I'm gonna be, because I've done a few paranormal interviews on my channel, extraterrestrial experiences. I have a time traveler on my channel on a regular basis. We try to really open up my channel and do a little bit of everything, and so I was willing to help out James when he was getting his channel started up, the Spirit Box. And if you ever wanted to do an interview on mine, James's, or if you wanted to do one on James's, and yeah, I'd be happy to help out too, because I'm interested in your story. I think you seem to have
you've got a very interesting one.
Well, that, and you're coming to it, and your understanding of it is new, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see your new understanding of your own, encounters and how you're dealing with this, because you can see that it's new to you, but you're still going through the thought process of understanding it. Did you catch any of that, Pink?
I just caught the end of that. My bloody Wi-Fi kicked me off again. I just heard the end of that. Sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. I was just saying, if you wanna do a show with me on my channel, I do a lot of paranormal stuff on my channel, and then I'm also helping out James getting his channel started up, and I'm gonna try to co-host with him a little bit and getting his stuff started up. But I would be happy to hear more of your story. Seems like you have quite the good one.
He's got a good podcast too to jump on and talk to, and he's got a lot of interesting people that come onto his too. So,
oh, she popped out again. Gosh,
did she?
That's rough. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. I've got a storm down here at the moment, so I think it keeps kicking me off.
It's totally understandable. It happens. You can't do much about it.
I couldn't join the other day because my data wouldn't handle it.
But anywho, so what do you guys want to talk about? We can open the panel up to. Oh, we lost her, but hopefully she gets back up. But we can open the panel up a little bit and let people join us too, because there's a few people on StreamYard that were jumping in that wanted to join us. And if anybody has any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and tab that into the YouTube. If anybody has any questions, feel free to join us, and then I'll give the StreamYard link. And so if anybody in the chat wants to join in with us, they're more than welcome to. Or if they have any questions for me or James in the Spirit Box, we will we'll get to that point and answer those questions as well. Oh no, it's okay. We understand, Lively. We could tell it was a connection issue. It's no biggie.
Yeah. There's plenty of time in the future.
Tiffany, did you make anything good? Now you're making me jealous. I could use flaming hot. I'm more of a jalapeno Cheetos guy myself.
The jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah, I can't do the flaming hots are just too much. Gosh.
Yeah, but I like over the top though.
No bueno. Mucho caliente on mi culo. Hello. No worries, Ting. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. But yeah, what we're trying to get across in the multiple times that you were on and off is I kind of run a show where I do paranormal experiences, extraterrestrial experiences, and a little bit of everything, time travelers, and then just regular interviews. And I'm going to be helping out James and getting his channel started up, and we'd be happy to interview you. If you want to come on my show after you do one with James, you're more than welcome to. Just I like to get people's stories out and make sure that everybody gets to hear it in its full aspect, because I don't like it when people get cut off and don't get to tell what they actually wanted to say.
Yeah.
No sound bites.
I agree.
Ooh, can't go wrong with some turkey and avocado.
Ooh, I'm not much of a turkey guy, but I love avocado.
Oh yeah, I'm not much of an avocado guy, but I know it's good for me, so I try to eat as much of it as I can.
Yeah.
But, I'm bad with textures. Oh, man.
I've never had an issue with textures.
That's good. That's very good. It's a problem.
It can be.
Have. I used to love cottage cheese, and then I became an adult and had a problem with textures. Then all of a sudden it was a problem. So, man, now I just want to dabble with you into some of the cases that you know about that you have interests in, because otherwise, me and you, as soon as we get off this, me and you are going to be looking at cases all night. I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about, if you really feel gutsy, I'll take you to there's a cemetery in Sycamore where I met that girl and her family, and they're there. That's what confirmed it for me after I
don't take no guts. I'm already down.
I went and found their graves, and I was like, oh, you guys really, all the names were right, the dates were right, everything was true to the story that they told me, and I had never been to the Sycamore Cemetery before that. Okay. And then, ironically, I ended up mowing the lawn of it for 2 years, and had to go across the grave every other day, or not every other day, but every other week for 2 seasons of landscaping. I was like, the irony is, because there's so many what's it called, graveyards in Sycamore. I think there's at least 3. The fact that I ended up at the one with that person in it and their whole family in it absolutely drove me bonkers.
That's pretty ironic for sure.
I'm
always down to visit.
I feel like I should take you there, and we should go talk to him without being too risque. I could show you something pretty interesting.
I'm always down for a good experience.
Turkey, pepperonis, but I'm weird.
Hey, beef, you can't go wrong with those.
Oh my gosh, those are my staple foods.
I like spicy stuff. I have jalapenos in a jar.
Oh, I wish I could eat jalapenos in a jar. Oof, man, that's a competition in its own.
Livy, I'll send you his Facebook information. You can link on Facebook, and then you can join his live stream anytime.
We can go through that, or my YouTube page. I don't know if you saw that. We can always connect through there too. Or once you get connected with me through Facebook, I can give you some email information. But I appreciate it.
But yeah, I need to research a few good stories. There's nothing particular. What actually got my fascination was some friends of mine when I was younger dabbled with the occult, and more specifically the Goetia.
Okay.
which is,
I don't know much about it. Tell me a little bit about it.
so the Goetia, in its simplest terms, are about the 72 fallen angels that were cast out of heaven with Lucifer.
Okay.
And so
I've never heard of it described as that, but I do know of the fallen angels.
Mm-hmm. So it was during the great battle and whatnot, and they were cast out of heaven with Lucifer because they believed that Lucifer could lead better than God, essentially. And so to Christians, heavy God believers, I should say, they are considered evil. I do not view them as evil. I've never had.
I feel like I've always had the same mindset as you, James. I've talked to a lot of religious people on a regular basis, but my mindset is our interpretation of the lizard, the serpent, is all a misunderstanding, and it was interpreted how we saw a battle or a conflict going on.
Yeah,
from a human aspect. And I think it's very easy to, because there's a lot of civilizations all over the U.S. that either have flying serpents, winged serpents, creatures coming from underground, whether you're talking about the Navajo Indians, whether you're talking about the Aztec, whether you're talking about the Mayan, all of them had these, the Chinese, these flying serpents that were not necessarily bad entities. They were respected and feared just like a god or a singular god.
yeah.
But I think it's interesting the balance that people find themselves in with, understanding religion and which one is supposed to be right.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem is I feel like there's way too much human influence on religion itself. And I feel like that's the problem is humans are the ones that mess up our interpretation of understanding these old texts. It's just humans are corrupt by nature in my aspect. And
yeah.
I just think as soon as they get their hands on it is when it starts getting corrupt. I mean, and they try to gear it towards their own wills.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed the British accent?
We didn't.
Yeah, I tried not to go too hard. I didn't, because so we have a few friends on a couple of the other podcasts that I bounce around to, and I play with them in a British accent, and I think it's a lot of fun, but some people get offended by it. And boy, I try not to push it on everybody.
Yeah, I love a good British accent, though.
I do too.
It's my favorite accent to do.
It rings nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask Divine Tiffany. I literally, I used to start almost every podcast with "Hello, mate. How are ya?" Like, oh god. And Jimmy, I don't know how many times I've gotten into a conversation with like calling him a Jardy, or we've gotten into some really bollocks questions. And
bollocks! I used to have this one old lady that I used to game with. Like, she was like a grandma, and we used to play SWTOR together, Star Wars, not the Old Republic. And she'd be like,
you with that hat on, you like Star Wars?
Huh?
You with that hat on, you like Star Wars?
No. Only a lot.
The irony.
Yeah.
It's a self-loathing
I believe in the
thing.
Force.
I put his hat on for fun.
The Force is strong with all of us.
Force. That's not okay, brother. It's my favorite. One of my favorite lines from what's it called? How I Met Your Mother. God, I can't think of his name now. Barney Stinson walks up and sits next to Ted, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be your broda, and I'm gonna teach you about the Force." And he was like, "Force?
Your broda?
That's that's wrong, broda. It's not about Force."
Oh my god!
But yeah, no, that one gets me every time. I love a good Star Wars reference joke. And I know I've shared that what's it called? That Yoda sing along one with you, the bad lip reading.
Yeah, seagulls or whatever.
Oh my gosh, the seagulls get me every time. Poke you in the eye. Oh man!
I had a friend that wore it out, so I actually I'm not a big fan.
I feel like I'm that
Probably
guy.
the
I'm that
only
friend
Star
that wore
Wars.
it out. I feel like I'm that friend that wore it out.
No.
Oh,
I had another
okay.
friend.
No, I thought the
wore it
silence was a dead. I thought the silence was a dead giveaway.
No, I'm Livy and Libby's signing off, so I was telling her thanks for watching and stuff. She said the live chat's taken forever to load on her end. So
yeah,
and it's also
with the
5
internet
p.m.
issues, I
over
could
there.
see. Sorry that the connections were so poopy. That stinks. I hate when that happens. It's always a pain in the butt. But no, we appreciate getting to come on for the little bit that you did. So, we've met one of your many guests that you're going to have. What else do you think is on the top playlist? Without giving any names, can you give any ideas of some of the stories that you got coming up?
I can. Just a second. So, one guy wants to share his experiences. He owns a vape shop in South Carolina.
Okay.
And he's reached out to me and told me a bit of his story and shared a video. He had paranormal investigators actually come in, and he had a professional editing company and stuff do the video for him. It's 22 minutes long. It's on YouTube. He's going to come on and share his story. He still owns the vape shop. It's still there. So it's, yeah, he's still experiencing things and whatnot. That one's pretty interesting. I watched the whole video and stuff too. And then, let's see, there's a guy in South Texas who reached out to me, who has lived on property that was very haunted. There were like 3 or 4 houses that were all haunted in the area, and he lived in 2 of them. And then there's another lady that reached out to me that would like to share her experience as well. She had a friend that died when they were young, and he used to come visit her for a period of time.
Like physically visit her, or like
so his apparition would manifest, but only his head.
Okay. Oh wow. Only the head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Night, Libby.
Yeah, thank you for joining in. We appreciate it. You have a good night.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. in the UK.
Oh yeah, it's definitely late over there. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Tiffany said, "I'm busy.
Would you like
I'm busy
some coffee and
right now, but
crumpets?"
she might. Yeah, she might join up with us. So yeah, if you get some free time and we're still on, yeah, feel free to join in.
Definitely.
We'd love to have you on. I always like having Tiffany on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiffany. Gosh, man, Tiffany's got some interesting experiences that she's talked about a few of them with me, and she also believes in a lot of past timelines and stuff like that. And I didn't really dive into this when we were talking to Tink, but for reincarnation, for me, like the way I kind of put it is, I feel like you can reincarnate into almost anything. I don't necessarily think it has to be a human body in the eyes of what you can reincarnate into. I think it can only be things in our universe, but I think how you treat people in the life that you live in your previous life depends on what you are reincarnated into in a future life. And eventually that higher plane of existence I think of as heaven, or Agartha, the inner earth, whatever place religions pedestal here, because all religion seems to have this higher point where you reach this plane of existence that is heavenly, or extra dimensional, higher dimensions than,
To
I feel like
transcend
humans are
into a
definitely
better.
when humans are considered like a lower density creature compared to like an
Mhm.
angel or
Yeah.
anything else.
Hmm. Yeah.
Terry said, "I'm doing some renovation work on my place here, listening and already enjoying." Well, we appreciate it. I saw you on Aaron's show. I glad you were able to pop over, Terry.
Me too.
I just for Terry, I talked to somebody today who works at a company that does setup for a lot of different events, and they get to do some setup for some WWE events. And so I have some information to tell Terry, because Terry is a professional referee, and he's done WWE matches, he's done AEW matches, he's done some really big matches with some very, very big people, and Terry might like the story I have for him, so I'll have to reach out to him at some point and let him know a little bit of the wrestling news I got, because that's one of our passions we like to jump into.
That's exciting. I watched a little bit of Friday Night Raw, Monday Night SmackDown back in my day.
I'll slap you through the computer. I see what you did there. Friday Night Raw. Is that what you just said?
That's what it was. Friday Night Raw and Monday nights was SmackDown, WWE.
I don't even know how you say that with a straight face. I'll slap you through the computer. It's Monday Night Raw. SmackDown was on Thursdays, and they didn't have shit on Fridays when I was younger.
Well,
because when I was younger, Raw was War. Raw is War was on Mondays, and Thursday was definitely SmackDown. And then eventually, WWE went into the split where it was like SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah,
they had these like rivalry battles. I actually had a conversation with Terry about this. I'm 100% convinced that all of these new leagues are all part of this, the whole WWE storyline. I think I'm 100% convinced that this is a Vince McMahon doing, where he's going to bring WCW and ECW in the same way he did before with these new companies. And I'm 100% convinced it's all just a play on all the fans that are interested in all these other venues. I'm like, oh, wow. I can't wait to see it unfold, because that's exactly what I think it is. Because the WWE doesn't know how to make new talent anymore. They don't know how to hand down the torch. It hasn't happened since the 90s. Our biggest stars are still stars from the 90s. Like, you name, I think the youngest one is what, John Cena, maybe Brock Lesnar. I think Roman Reigns is up there, but Roman Reigns can't even get the push, and he's related to The Rock. Like, if The Rock can't give you the push and people still hate you, like, God, you're on your own. If people can't like you after The Rock comes out and shakes your hand and tells you he's your buddy, man, I don't know what else to do. That's all the push they can give you on the WWE.
I mean, in life in general,
Oh, yeah. Well, and I didn't know if it was a matter of this company riding out their old stars too much and not wanting to hand down the torch because they wanted to keep making money off these people. Like, The Rock's still making the Mummy movies. We need to keep pushing him. Like, I get it. Like, you want to keep him involved in the WWE as much as possible, but at the same time, you can't create new stars if you're pushing these old stars that aren't even wrestling anymore. I mean, it eventually comes down the dead-end road.
Frickin' Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo. Oh, man. They just did a... God, man, you're going to get me on a wrestling talk. I need to stop. I've already done normal wrestling talk. But I was going to ask you, I wouldn't mind... Because did I tell you about my trip to New York I'm going to take next year? To Montauk?
You've told me a little bit about it, yeah.
Okay, so today, after we get off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Montauk, New York. And I want to take you with me to that trip as kind of like, I need a buddy there with me. We're going to be doing camping, and you know how we camp. We'll have a good time and camp regardless, but I'm going to have a bunch of strangers there with me that I've never met in person. I'd like to have one safety blanket with me. I wouldn't mind taking the spirit box with me to have around, just in
Indeed.
case.
Metal
Just in case
fingers.
it gets a little wild, because there's some crazy energies going on at this this closed down government site. There's a lot of people that have lost their lives
That's
there,
right.
and a lot of torture's gone on there. It's kind of a crazy site, and
Ooh.
you knowing the way I like to camp, I might find myself more open to these the spirits of the time, and yeah, wouldn't mind having somebody else there with me that either keep me from getting arrested or doing anything too crazy, because I have a feeling that it'll go off the hinges if I don't have somebody else with me.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I'll pay for the whole trip, and me and you can go out to New York and go camping. We'll road trip out of it and make because we have a documentary crew going that one of the other guys that is on there is sharing. Oh, April's coming on to join us. But yeah, we have a documentary crew going there that's going to record the whole event and everything that happens.
Jake says
Take
no
that
smoking.
sign off my screen, April. I'm just joking.
I'll be right back. I gotta take a bathroom break.
Okay. Oh man, I can't make April jokes if people don't know the April joke about the stream. Man.
What? Gotta pee on the stream?
No, he had to leave. He doesn't know the rules.
It's okay, we do.
Well, me and April like to live dangerously.
Just remember. There you go. Other side.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it the second you came on. I'm like, oh, she's
I can still
positioning
hear
this
you
perfectly. So what you up to tonight, April? How you been?
Green shirt at work.
Oh, the party is starting. What do we got here?
Yeah.
Hello.
Tiffany, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Copycat.
Right?
Actually, she announced that she was going to be coming on before you did. So now it looks like April's the copycat.
Well, I got here first. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You beat me to it.
So how was everybody doing tonight? I didn't catch the. I'm so sorry that. So I was playing video games with my daughter while we had your stream going in the background. We have this old PlayStation, like one of those new small versions that you can like plug in graphics cards to, and we uploaded like 60 games on it. And me and my daughter were playing Crash Bandicoot because she has never heard of it before. And I was like, "Oh, you need to know this game." And so
that is
You know what's
amazing.
funny?
yeah, so I introduced Crash Bandicoot to her and Mortal Kombat. Well, she's played Mortal Kombat.
I dig the background.
Thank you.
Oh, Tiffany's got the best setup. She's got a whole studio over there. She knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta get set up.
Even magic. No, I don't do any spells though, so.
Oh,
You
I mean,
know
what?
what's funny?
I do.
You do? Cool. Not
At
that
my,
though.
here at my job, the maintenance crew has a lawnmower that looks more like something that Crash Bandicoot would ride in. It doesn't. It's not it's not like a little John Deere or anything. It's like old and rusted, and it just kind of sits in the middle of it.
And there's an arrow that says in, and you just jump on it.
Right?
Yeah, and every morning I see him come out of the maintenance area and go drive off to cut grass somewhere, and all I can think of is Crash Bandicoot every time I see it.
Terry comes up with some interesting questions. Gosh, Terry.
Love it.
Tiffany, if you feel like answering this.
Yeah, hold on, let me just read it again. Is there one or two cards that have been coming up constantly in different readings the past week?
Outsider's perspective, I would say cups. 2 cups specifically.
Yeah, the Two of Cups has been coming out a lot, and the Well, no, not the world card. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good card to have, I guess.
Yeah.
What deck do you use?
Multiple.
I have multiple ones. Yeah.
Oh.
I have a couple tarot ones, a couple oracle ones. I like
Oh.
using the uncommon tarot the most. I don't know. These are
Hold
the
on.
Oh, okay.
tarot. Yeah.
I have a Rider-Waite deck personally myself, just for learning purposes and stuff. So nothing fancy. It's pretty mainstream.
Yeah. And I usually go off my intuition when I read the cards, so I don't even really look at the book. I just go based off what Spirit's giving me messages, of, and then I relay them to.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And I think actually last time me and you were on, James, you were talking about cleansing a space before doing anything like this. And Tiffany and a few of the other people that I've talked to are some of the few people that I do that I talk to that actually do that, where they clear the space before. And Tiffany's always very adamant about, getting the bad energy and negative energy out of the space. And whether she's, burning sage or I don't know what other practices you do, but I see.
Well, you
burning
want to get
sage
rid of
the most.
residual energy in general,
Yeah.
so it doesn't interfere.
You could even do that in the shower. If you just, picture yourself being cleansed, it'll help too. I mean, there's all kinds of things.
I was actually trying to pull up. Gosh darn it! Oh, Aaron is still alive. I'm sorry if anybody was trying to watch Aaron and me. I appreciate you guys popping over that are watching both shows. I know it's hard, but I appreciate it.
I was over there earlier. Seemed like a good show he was having.
Oh yeah, Aaron's always got a good show. He just released his time machine that he just got finished making, and he's gonna start selling them mainstream now. He's got his time machine. You have to check it out. I can't give it away, but he has a time machine that he's selling, and I think they're under $10, but you can only go to the future. It's not for past travel, just to give some preference. But yeah, he's got time machines for sale right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was that?
it's because I was reading Terry's comment, and yeah, the Two of Cups is good, and so is the Wheel of Fortune. With cards. The Two of Cups, of course, is about love. So could even
I'm
say
trying to pull up something with try to pull up one of Tiffany's last videos because I was gonna try to read the deck list that you usually have on your description. I already got it up now. Let's see here. 'Cause I wanted to give James an idea. I know you probably know, and I took way too long to pull it up. And she's like, "Oh, I could just say it."
yeah, I could, but since you already got it up.
But no. I'm in the process now. I'm gonna act like I'm working. All right. So
Yeah,
the
do your
Uncommon
job.
Tarot, the Guild Tarot. Is it pronounced the Anne Stokes Gothic Tarot?
Yeah, that's still. Yeah.
Okay. Then the Romance Oracle, the Angel Oracle, Spirit Animal Oracle, the Fairies Oracle. I'm more a fan of the Fairies Oracle the most, and then the Priestess of Light Oracle. I don't know why I really felt like some kind of connection with the Fairies Oracle, and I always ask for that one.
I've always wanted to try the animal one.
Yeah, so the fairy one is really good too, and the spirit animal one. I mean, they all have their own cool things about them,
When don't the
Yeah.
Angel Oracles have their own significance to them, like with the Angel?
I don't understand.
Wasn't there? I don't remember which set that I'm thinking of, but some of them you ask another question regarding those cards specifically. I didn't remember if it was the Angel Oracle where like you would explain more about the number of the angel that it was, and
Oh, okay, so that's the Priestess of Light. I usually get the angel number off of it because I think,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I just think it helps people get more clarity on their reading when I give them the angel number.
Gotcha.
And with this one, this is the angel oracle answers, and they don't really have numbers on these, but they have the answers, so people can focus on questions or like how when they're going through what they want the answers to be in it.
Sorry, I'm adjusting your mic. I don't know why. I don't know if I had it low on my end, but go ahead and say something now. See if it makes.
Hello?
Oh yeah, much better.
Much better.
Okay.
Sorry,
Alright.
I didn't know if it was my end or what I was doing, but
It might be my
definitely back up.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, she always sounds a little distant.
I'm a little distorted.
Not just distorted, but a little like far up, like a little distant.
Far away. It's the
Yeah.
aliens.
I was telling Tiffany about that the other day. I got to get the A-Love voice alien box so I can start coming through with an alien voice more. In case I ever need to do some disguised guests.
Murid's Haunted Journey.
Oh, thank you for tuning in. Probably saw Spirit Box in the title, but I don't know Murad's Haunted Journey personally. I don't know if anybody else does.
Thanks for tuning in.
I think they come from Elaine.
Oh, that's very possible.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Terry said you're coming in much better.
If I'm not, I can always get off and,
Oh no, it's totally fine, and I can turn it up more if anybody's having trouble hearing it. I have a little bit more adjustment on my end.
Vegas, Nevada. Nice. There's lots of paranormal activity out there.
Oh yeah, there's so many good sites in Vegas.
Hit up the Spirit Box if you ever want to share any of those haunted journeys.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me or the Spirit Box, and I can get you guys connected too. And he's going to be doing a lot of interviews here in the future. And gosh, what did you tell me? You already have at least 9 or 10 set up almost?
That have reached out with actual stories. I've got more people that
you said you had 60 reach out, but at least 10 of them are seeming like
have
they're going
sent
to
me
turn
their
out
stories personally. I've read them. I just got to get them scheduled. Yep. I'm excited.
So, Murad, what kind of stuff do you do for paranormal? Oh, and thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Or subscribing. Did I say subscribing? Thank you for subscribing.
Subscribing.
I inscribed it on the paper with my pencil. Oh, April, what's on the menu tonight? What are we doing tonight? We raging? We karaokeing? What are we doing?
I don't know. What do you want to do today?
I don't know. What do you want to do? This isn't my channel. I don't make rules. Whose channel is this?
It's actually April's channel, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Twice.
Okay.
I'll hand it over right now. Here you go.
There you go.
Here you go.
For
A lot of
you.
old abandoned towns, cemeteries, and haunted hotels. Okay, so what do you do? You just go in there and just stay in them, and record your experiences? Do you mess with spirit boxes? Like what level of research do you do on those places?
Andy said he helps channels grow too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love everybody that we talk to that's involved in building these small community channels are so great. Yeah. And yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're out there helping people.
I love spreading the love.
That's amazing.
Well, and that's what I was trying to do, introduce to James. So I reached out to James when I was starting my channel. What was that, 6 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah, I remember.
I said, you and Randy need to start a channel because you guys would be good at it. Like, I don't know how often that me, Randy, and James sat down and had these in-depth conversations, and none of them ever
Randy
made it
and I
on anything.
Him and I will talk for 6 hours about philosophy and all this other crazy stuff. like sitting on the picnic bench, just chilling, you know. And I'm like, why aren't we recording this shit? Because other people would love to just dial in. I remember when you said that it was you couldn't make it on YouTube and that it's too late to start.
I was worried about it.
Started.
It was because of the spike. It was because of the spike that I saw in people doing it during the pandemic. What actually kind of scared me the most about it. I was like, oh, everybody's doing this. There's so much content being created. And now people are actually gearing more away from YouTube than other platforms. And that's more what I was worried about because I literally only use YouTube. That's why Tiffany actually shared out one of my kayaking videos the other day. And it got liked by somebody on TikTok that has way more subscribers than I'm ever going to have in my existence. And it was just awesome to know that other people are sharing stuff out. Tiffany's great at sharing stuff and getting the word spread. Yeah, I can't thank her enough.
It was on Twitter, but yeah, it was crazy because he has like 500 something thousand followers on Twitter, and I guess he's following like, I don't know, 90 something thousand of those.
Oh wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just showing James. I have some drone footage that I'm going to be releasing within the next couple days. Basically, when I finally got this $1,800 drone that we were using to record ourselves today, and the guy asked me if I wanted to fly it, and I was like, I don't want to touch it. Like, $1,800. Like, the last thing I want to be responsible for is touching this. But yeah, got some great footage of us. We probably got like 20 to 40 minutes of kayaking footage and fishing and stuff like that, and it's just way better angles than me holding my flip phone at my face and doing a horrible job. So hopefully everybody likes it. I was telling DP about it because he's got some drone experience.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope people like it. I'm anticipating that.
Yeah.
I just looked at Murad's channel too. It does look pretty good. He's got over 100 videos, 4,000 plus subscribers.
Wow.
Looks nice.
Yeah, so that's probably someone that's been doing it for a while. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. If so James, you were talking to me about t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
And I told you I wanted you to talk to April because you were telling me you wanted to make shirts with inspirational quotes, and I'm like, the only person I think of that nails that is April because she has some of the best inspirational quote the clothing lines I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's A-level over there.
Yeah, I already have a Shopify store. I haven't really designed anything new in probably over a year, but I do have a handful already on there.
Okay.
And it's all the idea behind mine is it's all positive wording, and the designs and the font included is not like perfect, right? So my idea behind that is because it represents us as human beings. We're not perfect, so why should the design be perfect?
Sure.
You know. And some of them will look really nice. Some of them are my art. Some of them even I question.
Yeah.
But if you want to check it out, it's aloveproductions.com.
Okay.
I need to get. Gosh, now I need to get your link tree. Tiffany's on the live. And April's on the live, and now we don't got a link tree in the chat. I need April's link tree.
I can put it in. I'm on my.
Oh, you can? Oh, I know it's a pain in the butt to do it when you're on StreamYard, so I was going to ask you that too. But that's something that April and Tiffany both use. That's awesome because I didn't know about it before they used it. Basically, you can get all your links in one little area on this. Link tree. You can probably explain it better than myself.
Try to help Herman get his set up.
Oh, nice.
The funny thing is, he's like, "Can you help me?" And like, we did a video chat so he could share his screen so I can, you know, help him through it. And then he was starting to figure it out all by himself. I was like, okay, so I'm just stay for moral support.
Just hand over the reins then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a
Awesome.
few clothing ideas. I wanted to do inspirational stuff, things for like mental health awareness, different types of mental health and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. And then I was trying to think, I need to find somebody or
I'm gonna
figure out
share
how to
you.
do it
I'm gonna share
myself.
this with you later, James, when we get offline. But this is April's link tree for A Love
Okay.
Productions.
Oh,
Then
okay, cool.
everything in Love Productions.
So if anybody else sees this, follow everything with A Love Productions because she does great work, great artwork, great clothing line. And if you haven't checked out her songs that she's been producing in the past, the songs are great. I stumbled across your songs the other day, April, and I was like, oh my God, me and my girlfriend were sitting there jamming to them. Like, this is fun. I didn't even know you did stuff like that. Your TikTok
Yeah, I
stuff.
know. I haven't done one in quite a while, and I had two. I have one that I'm still kind of sort of working on, but just haven't gotten around to finishing it. And if you notice the theme, most of them are YouTubers. Songs toward, and it was all inspired by Fuzi when he had his July 15th mental breakdown
Oh,
a
okay.
couple years back. So anyone that's not familiar, Fuzi, aka Fuzi 2, was one of the more popular YouTubers up until maybe about a year or two ago. He's known for he was known for pranks, social experiments. Um, he did Arab family household, like what Arab parents do, because he's from the Muslim community. He was basically making fun of his parents, dressing up like his mother and whatnot. But when he started his vlog channel, he started showing more personal stuff and the struggles he has with mental health. He has bipolar, anxiety, and he actually has a book coming out in like 2 days. Talking about an addiction that he never told anyone, at least his viewers, what the addiction was, but mentioned it a lot. Back in, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, he had one of his biggest mental breakdowns. And the way it kind of snowballed was he was in Australia with another YouTuber named Adam Sala, and they were doing a show together. And he either forgot his medication, which was a common thing when he traveled. He forgot his medication, and he started saying he was disappointed in the venue size. It was like I could fill out a much bigger facility. I could do blah 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 blah. Fast forward, within 7 days, he booked a small, I guess a decent sized facility in California, somewhere in California. Got all these content creators to come together, and he had this new song that was going to change the world. And his slogan was "Hate dies, love arrives." He was trying to spread love and positivity. He dubbed himself as being. He said, "I'm changing my name to Rose because Rose, whatever." This is all part of when he started becoming more and more manic. And the night of the show, he was supposed to show up. He was convinced that he had Drake. That Drake was going to come to the show. And minutes before he was about to show up to the show, a bomb threat got called in, and he couldn't even get up to the space up to the venue. And then he's like probably down the street from it or whatever in a park, and there's videos all over YouTube about it. That he like, you can see that he's completely checked out in his eyes, and he's talking about, how Keemstar almost cost him his life. That he was, and this.
How many people or YouTubers did Keemstar bring to that point though?
One of them.
Keemstar super aggressive.
I don't know the full story, but there's one guy from New York that dropped off the I guess the Brooklyn Bridge or something like a year or two ago. And apparently, he was on a Keemstar live stream, and they were debating back and forth. Within like 48 hours from that, the kid, took his own life.
I can't think of the other guy's name. Wings or something. He's a Call of Duty player, and he lives at home with his mom in a mobile home, and the guy was just like, that's all he was doing for his living. And Keemstar went out of his way to make fun of this guy and to just tear this guy down. And I was just like, all he's trying to do is make a living and pay for his mom and himself to live in this place. And it's like, Keemstar just wasn't happy with it. And I don't know. Keemstar, I have a love-hate relationship for him. I do like when he points out bad things, but sometimes he, overreaches.
The ironic thing is, at the time, Fuzi was one of his big targets. And I believe him when he says that that people like Keemstar. The ironic thing is now they're like good friends.
It's good. I mean, it's good that they got to that point.
Yeah, like they're actually working together now in the whole YouTube boxing space. But where was I going with? Oh, so that whole spiel of July 15th, because he was promoting it as this positive thing that was supposed to change the world. I was already inspired by him, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run with this idea, with this, and instead of, because what ended up happening, he said he had this song that was gonna change the world. What it ended up being was basically a diss track to Rice Gum, another YouTuber. And I can't.
Do you think it was too much build up, April? Do you think it is?
The impressive thing is that he managed to put this thing together in literally a week. All right, but the way it ended, people think he called in his own bomb threat. They're not convinced that he ever got contact with Drake, and because the song wasn't even what he claimed it to be, he left YouTube for a good year and a half. And he was in a complete panic. And he even claims that there was a point where he felt like he wasn't even in control of his own mind and body. He feels like something else had taken him over.
Do you think it was like a possession thing or like an override, or what do you?
He said at one point he thinks at some point that got like something to that effect. Because there's live stream clips that he's talked about it. I don't know if he's kept the videos up, but I did get a couple of his videos in the last 6 months or a year. On his podcast, him and his friends had a podcast called Gotta Get It. And he did speak on that. If those videos are still up, you could probably find him talking about it in there where he said, I feel like something else, another entity had taken over him for a short period of time there. That he feels like he had no control over himself. This stuff, but like I said, what inspired those music tracks was because of that, because he was promoting it as a hate dies, love arrives, let's unite, let's be positive type of deal. And I was like, you know what? And I kind of played off of the fact that he was trying to promote his song as a positive song, and it turned into a diss track. And it happened to be a diss track towards Rice Gum that was known for diss tracks. I was like, you know what? Let me flip the script on it and make something that celebrates the person instead of dissing them, even if it's in a jokingly way. Right? So, and the first song I did was about Fousey. And that was the only song that I didn't put the music together myself. But everything past that, everything after that one song, I put music together. There's a couple, one or two that I'm not, like, if I had the motivation, I'd go back and re-edit it. Because I personally, like, the music isn't completely yet, and I can hear where the clips are, like, I know where the little mess ups are.
So when you're looking at your own work, it's easy to pick that out, but not everybody picks it out. Is like for me, I used to do that all the time with my own. Anytime I make something, it drove me nuts listening to it.
There's definitely a couple of them that like I go, okay, this one came out like I'm really happy with. Like the Gary V one, I'm really happy with. There's one for Slimification, which is a YouTuber. That one I really liked. The Ella one came out pretty good. But the next two was supposed to be Mr. Beast and a TikToker by the name of JT. That one I'm like practically done with it. There's like a couple little tweaks I have to make to it, but I just haven't had the motivation to play with the music.
So James, it was interesting. I was gonna say, James, it was interesting that you put this up. I don't know if it was Hell or Heal, but I assume Hell, New Orleans in general, or Salem, Massachusetts. You put that up, right?
Corrected. Hell, yeah.
Okay, so go back if you get a chance. Go to my channel and watch my interview I did with Melinda, and because she confirmed something to me that I really can't put my finger on yet, but it dabbles with what we were talking about before with past lives, and she has some kind of connection with me in Salem, Massachusetts, and I just thought it was interesting. It really sparked my interest and made me dive into it a little bit more.
My ancestry is connected to the Salem witch trial.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool.
And what's the House of Seven?
Well, then I assume you were on the non-witch side if you have ancestors.
I think that's the name of the house. The House of Seven Gables. I think that's
the name. That is the name.
Yeah, my family tree has a connection to that as well.
Wow. My grandma found out we were connected to the Vanderbilts.
Wow.
I think the crazy lady though. There was like a crazy lady, of course, right?
Yeah, as far as the rest goes, the only thing I don't know is if we were one of the witches or just part of the tribe. So I just know that a family member that I was when I was in my 20s, I was interested in kind of learning the family tree, and one of my mother's aunts, I believe it was because I two family members on both sides of my family happened to do my mother's side and my father's side. Both did their own family trees, and I forget what side it's on, but like we have connection. Our family's connected to the Roosevelts, and Benedict McDonald. Again, the Salem trial, Seven Gables, and I forget what else.
That's how you're connected to them, though.
What?
Those
Like I said, I
families.
don't know in what way, and I don't remember what side of the family.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
well, we're at
one of them
sharing all
told
the good channels over here.
I was told by a psychic that I went and saw up in Wisconsin that I was a druid, like in an ancient past life, like not a recent past life, but like I was connected to the actual druids, like at the beginning of druidism, which is kind of crazy. Outside of that, I'm the only person in my family that is not Christian, so which is like kind of sucks because it'd be cool to be like, oh, grandma, you did witchcraft or something, you know, or a long lost aunt or something, but like, nah, it's just me.
me.
Aw.
Oh, Murad, I'm glad you were able to check me out on Elaine's. Yeah, no, Elaine's nice and invites everybody up on her streams, and I'm glad she lets me on there because she's got a great audience and a great following, and
Yeah.
I just like the fact that she likes to share everybody's work. She shared out this stream for me, and that might have been what made you able to see me tonight. So I appreciate what Elaine does. It's greatly appreciated.
Awesome.
But kind of with what you were saying, James, is you were talking about you don't think it was a recent past life, and it draws me back to my question about time. Do you think it's just as possible that you were a druid in literally your last incarnation, if you're thinking about it on in a reincarnation level?
Yeah.
If time is irrelevant and all of time exists, in the same relative idea, then it could have been any lineage, like any reincarnation that you were a druid.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I wanted to say this one. I'm not going to be too specific about it, but I have okay. Speaking about past lives, I have for a while I thought there was something with like Italy, Rome, and all these other places. It's not Italy. It's not all these other places. It's just Rome specifically, and something about a battle, and I don't know what my involvement was there, but the more I dig into it, I believe I actually found a picture of myself in the past, and I'm 100% convinced it's me, and I'm actually with somebody else, and that's what made the picture even weirder, because it has a deeper connection that I can't really explain to everybody, but there was somebody else with me in the picture that I recognized, and I thought it was strange. But yeah, I'm 100% convinced I had something to do with Rome as well in a battle.
That's pretty cool. Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
I was going to say something, but I totally forgot now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw everybody off.
Oh, no, you're good. I was going to comment on what you were saying, but now...
Oh, Terry said, I'm not Tarot Terry from Oracles and Beyond, but I will check this out. Thank you. Oh, that's funny. I assume that's the person from the channel that Morad was telling you about? Do you know Cassie from Oracles?
I know Kathy.
Oh, you know Cassie? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oracles and
What a
Beyond.
small world.
She hangs out with Randy when he goes live.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I met Randy through you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen gosh, between you and Elaine, you guys probably have the most paranormal people following your pages that I'm able to see, constantly involved in the chats and, you know, keeping up with everybody.
Yeah, they're cool people.
I'm going to be in close competition.
It's not competition. See, and that's how you're thinking of it wrong already. I know you were joking, but
Yeah.
And that's why the second you told me you wanted to do this, I was like, oh, if any of my guests want to come on your show, I'm happy to like suggest your show, because most of these people that want to tell these stories, they're too commonly running into people that don't want to hear them out or want to judge them the second they tell their stories.
Yes.
And that's what I'm trying to stop from introducing anybody else to. And I know you well enough to know that you wouldn't do that to somebody. You're not rude like that.
No.
You're willing to hear people's stories and you know, and relate to them and try to understand it as best as possible. And that's all I'm trying to do. And so I feel like as long as the interviewers and, you know, the platform and everything is being respectful, including, that's what's hard about it, is including the comments that follow the, you know, the panels. Sometimes they can get a little dark, and I worry way too much about my comment section most of the time. When it comes to, I don't want my regulars that tune in to see something bad that would offend them or something like that. So I try to be super attentive of that. I told you I'm going to hook you up with a robot the second you get over 20 subscribers, because I feel like you're going to need it.
Yeah. It gets crazy on these platforms.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out your platforms too. I didn't know that you guys did your own thing. So
Oh yeah, Alove's got her own, Tiffany's got her own, and
on YouTube.
oh yeah, all on YouTube. I mean, Alove's got a little bit of everything.
April's everywhere.
Yeah,
TikTok,
Alove's everywhere.
YouTube.
Well, and you're on Discord, and you do other stuff, don't you? Yeah, I mean, but no, it's on Discord. What's the one with the singing?
TikTok.
No, not TikTok. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Tiffany.
Sessions Live?
Oh, Sessions. Yeah. So she does. What would you call them? Would you call them covers?
Yeah, like karaoke covers.
Yeah, she's amazing at it, because she's going to try to downplay it after I say that, but she's actually really good at it. And yeah, I would tell everybody, if you get a chance to go check out Tiffany's singing as well, because she tries to hide that she's a great singer, and she definitely is, and she tries to play it down if you compliment her. So I just ramble on about complimenting her, so she can't fit in a downplay.
Well, thank you. I've always loved to sing, and it's just always been a passion of mine, so I'm happy that I can do that. You know? But thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'm happy that I got to hear it. The one song that really connected with me, and it was only because my daughter had sung it literally like the weekend before, was God, I can't think of the name. Fleetwood Mac.
Dreams.
Thunder, it happens when it rains. What
Yeah.
song is that? Okay. Yeah, you sang that song. My daughter had sung it like the week before during karaoke, and I didn't know my daughter knew that song. And so I was like recording it, and it absolutely blew my mind.
I grew up with a mom that blasted Heart and all that good kind of music.
Nice.
Heart and Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks.
I feel like that explains a lot, because my mom raised me listening to like MC Hammer, and I've gotten to a point where I like to rap randomly. Like, but she used to put me in front of a crowd, and yeah, I'd have to do I Like Big Butts or MC Hammer or.
My mom would make it fun to clean the house with music. We were always dancing and singing. So.
Oh yeah, you can't do chores without music. I feel like that's
Of course.
a payment in its own.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do landscaping if I didn't have somebody to talk to next to me, or earbuds, or headphones. In. Gosh, I'm the same way.
Yeah. I used to love to listen to Evanescence and Linkin Park too.
Same.
Yeah, no, I said that to the guys I was with today when we were recording those drone videos. I was like, "What's better than kayaking and listening to Doja Cat on the radio? Like that.
Yeah.
That to me is that to me is a good day."
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't really care what it is musically. Like,
Oh yeah,
I can listen to anything.
Well, and that's good. I feel like that's so healthy. A lot of people limit themselves to one genre, or they want to be very specific about. Oh, I only listen to country, or I only listen to this.
I drive all crazy in my car listening to classical music blared. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
dun, 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 dun. And I'm like driving around everybody and like zipping through. And
Yeah,
whatever's on the radio.
there's specific symphonies that I fucking love, just because I like the design of them. I remember, I can't remember the story now, but there was this one where this artist kept doing stories, or kept doing songs, and the people kept falling asleep during his songs because they were so soothing. So he designed this song to literally wake them up when they were falling asleep, and all of a sudden it would come in with some like thunderous drums like mid-song and just wake everybody back up, and then it would go into a soft melody yet again, and then thunderous drums. And it's like, oh my gosh, he designed this whole song to keep people awake. Like, it's so weird that musicians will dive that deep into their product and what they're presenting to people.
Yeah, but I think that's cool too, like their own uniqueness about it, you know?
Oh yeah, and I mean, especially at the time, it was probably only classical music. So what are you gonna do that's gonna stand out?
Yeah.
To even make you notice, especially when there's no social media, like newspapers weren't traveling that fast. Nobody would know about your music until probably after you passed away anyway, when it comes to like a country away.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that Beethoven wasn't recognized until after his death when it comes to like on a global level.
I love Beethoven. I
Yeah.
like him. Yeah.
April, what's your okay? I don't want to limit people. If you had to pick a favorite genre or less listened to, what do you listen to the most? Do you think?
Well, I'll say one of my favorite artists is anyway, Kenny Loggins.
Oh, okay. Can't go wrong with some Kenny Loggins. I like that.
Yeah.
And
That's good
I
music.
would say
Yeah, I like your link. Thank you for
Kenny
stopping in.
Loggins.
I saw you on Divine Tiffany stream earlier. Thank you so much for stopping in.
I would say between starting in the early '90s is where like I became a knowable a fan of his. I was like 14, 15 years old. So.
Yeah.
And I've called him my spiritual father since then, because at that age I was going through parental woes. My father lived around the corner from me. Didn't have a relationship with him because of his choices. My mother did the best she can, but she wasn't always emotionally available. Going through her, trying to get through her own mental health and her own limitations and whatnot. But again, she did the best she could. But at 14, 15 years old, I was looking for that, acknowledgement or noticeable support from my parents. I desperately wanted a relationship with my father and couldn't understand why, like, he's around the corner for me. And I was probably about 12, 13 years old when I found out I had two younger sisters from him with his, with his wife. And the way I found that out is someone that lived in my building that I became friends with, and my cousin that lived between where my father lived and I lived. We all were playing in the schoolyard, and one of my sisters knew my friend from school. They went to the same school, and we have the mutual cousin. And they say, I asked, "Who's that?" And my cousin was like, "That's Uncle so and so's daughter," and I'm like, "My father's daughter?"
Right.
You know, and the music Kenny Loggins was putting out at that time kind of spoke to me, and I was one of the. I know not everybody did it, but I think there's a lot that did. When artists used to put notes, not just the lyrics of their songs, and this, I had cassettes, so they would have little notes, giving an explanation or story behind the songs. And one song in particular that he had on his album Leap of Faith. I mean, that whole album for me was, that was a comfort. Those were comforting from the Leap of Faith album on. If you look it up, you'll see what he had around that time. All the music that he put out at that time was kind of spiritually connected, and just for me, it kind of gave me the message that I was loved, that I was okay where I was, that it was okay to cry. It comforted me, and in connecting to the stories that were speaking of the song, helped me at the time. And as the internet started growing in the mid-90s, there was a Kenny Loggins message board I found that Kenny on occasion would actually respond to stuff on. And I had wrote a few things on there, and at least I think once or twice he actually responded back. And I was lucky enough.
Hey, April, let me pause you for 2 seconds. All right, Baconator Henry, we're not a kids channel. We're not a family friendly channel. We don't aim to be that. I smoke cigarettes. I wouldn't want any kids to watch that. I do things that are inappropriate, and sometimes, yeah, we do curse. This is the same problem that I think our friend Herman the Great ran into. Is somebody coming in and doing something like what Baconator Henry's doing? And I thought it's a very strange question, but no, we're not a family. Like, yes, we are all a family here, and we're nice to everybody, but we're not. I'm not gearing towards being a family friendly channel or a kids channel.
Can be a bit out
there. And sometimes people swear, sometimes people do things that are inappropriate, and I do my best to edit them out and making them the most YouTube appropriate. But I would never classify myself as a family friendly or a kids channel, because sometimes there's content on my channel that's not necessarily for kids, and I don't. And I'll classify myself different if the video is applicable for that. If I feel like we have 18 plus content on the video, then I'll make sure to change the classification of my videos. But just to give you a heads up, I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. Yeah, we do curse every once in a while, but that's not what does it. I just feel like there's a lot going on with that. Yeah, no, we're fun to listen to, but I wouldn't encourage us for your kid to listen to before bed. Sometimes we get a little off the rails, we get a little silly, and without knowing anything about that, I wouldn't want to encourage any kid to listen to me to fall asleep. It could be my own stealth critic, but sometimes we have guests on that say things that are inappropriate, and not any of the guests that we have on today. But at the same time, sometimes people pop on spontaneously. I share my StreamYard in the description. So sometimes we get guests that are not necessarily appropriate, and I wouldn't want to take the responsibility for that. So I would warn people ahead of time. And sometimes I even get so surprised with what's on my channel, and I have to go back and edit it later. And if you happen to be watching it on a live, then odds are there's a chance you could catch something inappropriate. So I just wanted to totally explain that out. But sorry. I also wanted to ask you, April, is Kenny Loggins the one who wrote most of the songs for like the Toy Story films?
Not Toy Story, but he was king of the soundtracks in the 80s. Footloose, Top Gun, Danger Zone is his song.
Danger Zone.
Highway to the
Exactly.
Danger Zone.
Exactly.
Love
What
it.
other movie did he do a song for?
Didn't he do the Winnie the Pooh one too, or no? That's somebody else.
Tigger.
Tigger.
Because I would have swore he did. You got a friend in me.
No,
Who,
he did.
God, man, now it's gonna bug me.
I don't know who does that one, but I know the song.
Nah, I know who you're talking about. I
I
forget his
know
name.
Phil Collins does a lot of Disney ones, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Phil.
I'm not sure.
What other songs?
The heat of the
Yeah,
night.
he did. He did a song for the Tigger movie. He did a song for. There's a movie with George Clooney and Michelle Pfeiffer, where they both had single parents. They both had kids.
I
And
know
he
which
had
one.
a song in that movie called "For the First Time."
A Good Day or something like that. I know which one you're talking
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Randy
He also-
Newman.
He also
It
collaborated.
is Randy Newman.
He also
Yeah, he's got like Footloose, Blue Sky Riders. Man, he's got actually a lot of work. Kenny.
Yeah, Blue Sky Riders was actually he made him and two other musicians created a group together.
Gary Burr and
Yeah.
Georgia Middleman.
They had a couple good songs.
Yeah.
I think they only put out like one full album, but they had, or an LP. But they had a couple good songs together. Somebody,
Yeah, I think the two
Kenny
other people in the band.
McDonald a lot.
I think the two other people in the band were Gary Burr and Georgia Middleman.
Yeah, Georgia.
They won Grammys together, Academy Awards, Tony Awards, Golden Globe Awards. Yeah, they were big.
Other songs that Kenny's from how did I forget Caddyshack? He
Okay.
did a song for Caddyshack. I'm all right.
I'm alright. My dad used to have that one.
Yes, he
The
did.
little cover.
He did. I'm all right. He did. The original Pooh song, which is House of Pooh Corner. Danny song. Like if anyone that knows Kenny Loggins, they know the songs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other popular songs. Heart to Heart. Although I think Carole King might have got popular for that one. Because I think she did a cover of that and got more popularity off of it.
Oh, he also did a song called "Whenever I Call You Friend." It was a duet with Stevie Nicks.
Okay, Stevie Nicks. Yeah, I knew it was one of the
Fleetwood Mac.
Whenever I call you. Another song that he got notoriety for is This Is It. This is it. I can't remember the
Terry, stay tuned into the chat if you have a minute.
we say that maybe it's over. Only if you want it to be.
That next comment's kind of interesting.
That's why I
Yeah,
was like,
that's why I was telling Terry's one of our moderators, so I was just telling him to keep an eye on the chat. The feeling, I don't know why, but for some reason the Baconator was rubbing me wrong. But I love a good Baconator from Wendy's.
I love bacon's good.
But I do like the Donkey Kong logo with what is that, Jimmy Neutron's head on it? It's kind of fun. I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a genius.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like that big head doesn't fit that big body though. I feel like
Donkey
if
Tron.
that head's on that body, he's not much of a genius. But if that head's on a human body, maybe.
Donkey Tron.
Donkey Kong.
Hey, well, there's that Planet of the Apes, you know?
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. I know you're doing some work at the same time.
Oh.
Pet chimp.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Sometimes, like I was just rambling about it. Sometimes the chat makes me a little nervous, so I try not to worry about it.
I like how my phone warns me about
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Sorry, somebody just jumped into into the Discord or into the panel. Hey, Paul. If you'd like, go ahead and turn on your camera and show me you're a real person, and we'd be happy to let you on, or message me a little bit in the private chat, and then we'll let you on with us.
Oh boy.
11:11.
Make a wish.
Oh.
I wish that Pastor Paul was a real person. He'd turn on his camera and wave to us, because I feel like it's one of those names. It's just
Pastor,
Fun ones.
I don't do cameras. Neither do
Oh,
we.
yeah. Okay. Well, sorry about that, Pastor Paul. I promise the camera won't steal your soul. I'm not saying you're not a real person. That could be a real name, but without some camera verification, it makes it hard to put a name to a face. But yes, that name is probably very real. I would agree.
And I'm just laughing because I find everything funny.
Well, yeah, I bet
Everything is
I bet,
funny.
I bet Paul also has a YouTube channel. That there's a lot of Pauls with YouTube channels. But thank you. Like I said, if you have any questions, if you want to ask them in the private chat, I'll even relay them to the panel too, and they can actually see the private chat. So if you relay it in there, they can see it as well.
Oh yeah, everybody can.
If you're camera shy and you don't want to come on.
Okay, never mind, weirdo. What kind of pastor are you?
Oh yeah, so judgmental. Not like a pastor I've met. So
You're
my
a
brother,
pastor.
my brother,
That's the real weirdo.
my grandpa's a pastor. My brother's a youth minister. Didn't rub me like a pastor. Don't know. I've had some pastors rub. No, I'm just kidding. I've had some family members that were
Catholic.
super religious. Yeah, that's more Catholic. That's that's a different dark road sometimes.
All people weird.
Again,
But no.
why we're not family friendly.
Yes, another reason that my jokes tend to go off the hinges a little bit. I try not to be inappropriate, but I do my best. Sometimes I borderline devil.
It happens.
Not all pastors are family friendly.
Good grief.
True story. Goodness gracious. Oh gosh.
Dang, I really wanted to see that. That would have been great.
Yeah. I know exactly what was going to happen. I know exactly what was going to happen once I put his face on the screen, because then his face would disappear and then a background would come up.
Yeah.
It's usually the same. It's usually the same tactic. I need to teach you a little bit about this, James. People will come in. I mean, which you'll probably see, people will come in and tell you there's somebody else. I've had people literally pretend to be Tiffany. I've had people pretend to be all kinds of people to jump into my panel. And if you know the people well enough, it takes about 2 seconds to figure out if they're a real person or not. Or, well, I mean, they're all real people, but if they're trolling you or if they're just trying to, I don't know. I never know what the intention is for some of these trolls because I have less than 100 subscribers. I'm like, am I really worth your time? Like, am I really doing that much? But I guess I appreciate the views regardless.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't offer the Baconator for something to watch his son, and I'm sorry the pastor thinks I'm a weirdo, but I appreciate you guys tuning in.
Indeed.
Oh man, we're almost at the 2.5 hour mark. I appreciate everybody getting on tonight, and I want everybody, if you guys get a chance, drop over to the Spirit Box on YouTube, leave a like, and subscribe. We're gonna try to get this video put over on his channel as maybe an introduction video, something to. You don't have any content on there. We got to get you something started up soon, and then I know it's going to be starting. I know you got these interviews that you got started up soon too.
Yeah.
So, if anybody has any more questions before we depart, I'll probably wrap it up in about 4 minutes. I'll do it at the 2:30 mark. If anybody has to go before that, I totally understand. But figured I'd wrap it up around an even number.
Okay, so like in 2 minutes?
So it's no, that you said an even number. I meant 2:30 is what I was going to stop it at.
Oh, okay.
I said 4 minutes. Sorry.
Oh.
You're like 2 minutes. Oh, okay, that could be even. I guess if we just watch the second hand, every other second we could stop it at an appropriate time.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. 14, 16.
It's the final countdown.
Oh man,
But,
you just got me copyrighted. You just got me copyrighted, Cody. Gosh, learn the rules.
Oh, I'm not allowed to sing.
No, I'm just joking. I think it's got to be more than 8 seconds, and hopefully the algorithm didn't pick you up for nailing the song.
Yeah.
I always wonder that. Like, what if somebody's like really good at impersonating a song or a voice? Could you get in trouble for copywriting for like doing that voice?
Hey, Peter.
No, I'm not doing that. Thank you, though. I'm not doing Family Guy voices tonight. I'm tripping over my own words. I don't need to do anybody else's.
Yeah.
But do love me some Family Guy impressions.
Yeah.
Instead, let's go out with. I think this will be fun. April.
There you go.
You need to try to get James to pronounce some of the areas in Boston.
In Boston. All right, let me open. I'm gonna have to open the chat to do that. So if I say it out loud, that doesn't help.
No, yeah. I know, I get it. And if you post it on the chat, I'll put it up on the screen, and we'll make James pronounce them. It should be a fun ending segment.
But now I have to remember how to spell them.
Right?
Yeah, because you can't spell them like they sound. No, I tried this. So I tried this too. And what I told April before I did it, I was like, all right, I have a feeling all I'm going to do is add a very heavy Boston accent on this. Yeah. And I'm probably not going to get most of them right. But it's going to be a mixture between a Jersey Shore accent and Boston. And I'm going to do my best to power through them. So, and I don't think I got a single one right.
We got 30 seconds.
Oh, no, we're good. We can go a little bit over. But here's one for you.
Worcester?
Nope. Worcester.
That's Worcester?
Worcester. I can't even say it without the Boston accent.
You gotta do it with the Boston accent. Worcester.
I'm taking the car to Worcester.
Gotta go to the barber.
What's the other one? I won't spell it right. Watch. I'm trying to spell it right, but I don't think it's going to let me spell it. How do you spell it? I know how to spell it. There we go.
And then spell checks like, are you sure?
Yeah.
No, now I'm not. You just underlined it.
Gloucester.
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 I feel like you had to put an A where the O is.
Yeah.
Gloucester. Gloucester.
Got my glockenspiel. That's funny. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope to have a few exciting videos up on my channel here soon, for sure. And then
Oh, I can already tell with Tink and some of the other interviews
Yeah.
you've been telling me about. You're gonna have some good ones up pretty soon. So hopefully everybody's tuning in and gets to catch them all.
yeah, definitely. And then I'll look you guys up too.
All right. Well, nice meeting
I'll get with him. Yeah, you too, definitely.
Well, yeah, no, he was just telling me his interest in tarot cards and the fact that he's wanting to get into making inspirational shirts. I'm like, talk about the two perfect guests to have on tonight. I'm like, that just worked out perfect. Who can tell you more about tarot than Tiffany, and who can tell you more about a great inspirational clothing line than April? I mean, at least for the friends that I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I said friends. I hope you guys think of me as that. I don't want to overstep.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I
You
don't
kind of
know.
rub me the wrong way sometimes.
But remember, Herman just thinks we're ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, April, we know our own greatness. We don't need Herman to put us on a pedestal. If he doesn't want us to be his panel, no, I'm just joking. Herman, we love you. Herman, we love you. In case you
Yeah,
did
you
hear
know
that
he's gonna
second.
watch this back. Go, oh my god.
Yeah, no. I would do a weekly podcast with Herman if he would allow me to. I would love to just go back and forth with Herman. He's so funny, and he doesn't give himself enough credit for it. He's very entertaining and very funny, and not in like a make fun of you way. It's
Yeah.
the shit he comes up with is absolutely hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. His jokes are like right on my level, and they connect with me pretty good. But I didn't want him to misperceive our last little joke as the wrong thing, so I wanted to make sure we clarify.
Right.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But yeah, everybody have a wonderful night, and tune in to Everybody Herman the Great.
Worcestershire
West-
sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, I know. Worcester is kind of like trying to say Worcestershire sauce.
But yeah, check out West Haven. Check out April at A Love Productions. Check out Tiffany at Divine Tiffany. Yeah, we have so many people. Maria at Our Life in Color. Yeah,
I
we
just
have so many
subbed
people.
to Divine Tiffany. I found
There you
her.
go, doing it right.
I
Now
wish
you get that tarot knowledge.
That's right.
And then A-Love Productions with the S at the end.
Okay, with the S at the end.
Yeah, add the S there.
And if you got TikTok, I would suggest you following A Love on TikTok too, because some of her TikToks are the funniest shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life. And
I just
it's
subbed
so
to
on
you,
point.
too.
If you scroll really back, there's some that like never got the views that it should have, and even when I made them, I was busted out laughing.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
I finished them and I watched them back, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I just subbed to both of you guys, so
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Well,
definitely.
thank you everybody. Thank you Terry. Thank you everybody in the chat that hung out, and everyone have a wonderful night.
I bid you all a good night and a farewell.
Hi, everybody.
Happy trails to you.